What's good, y'all boys? We back. And like I always start the video off, if you're not aiming to get lean, to get on body game, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Let's get into it. Off top, how I feel, real talk. You know all these athlete stats, but you don't know your calorie count for the day. You don't know your maintenance calories. How is that? How do you know how many points Shea averages, how legendary LeBron's 20 plus years in the NBA have been, and you don't know your daily maintenance calories? How don't you know that? It's because how I feel, you're living through someone else. On all the video games, you're leveling up the video game, but you're not leveling up yourself. And when it comes down to it, you just haven't got mad enough to say, you know what? It's over. I'm going to start the day right now. Right now, at this moment. I'm not going to play. I'm going to start now. I'm not worried about who wins the championship, because guess what? Every day that you keep promises to yourself, you won the championship. Every day you don't, you're a sideline watcher. It just is what it is. But you are cool with being a sideline watcher, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't be mad when others walk past you winning. You say you want to be you say you want to be the best, but you know how many points whatever hoop star made, the day he made it, the date, the time, who they were playing, but you don't know the deficit that you need to be in to lose weight. You don't know that. You don't know whatever you're consuming. You don't know how many calories that is that you're intaking. You don't know how much food that you should be eating on a weekly basis to be in the deficit for the week. You don't know that. You want to continue to just mosey through life unaware and non-intentional. I always talk about this. Move with intent. Stop worrying about the next person and what they have going on, especially if they're in professional sports, because guess what? It's a distraction. At the end of the day, I'm not going to sit up here and act like I don't watch it. But hey, guess what? I'll catch the highlights, because guess what? I'm in the pursuit of winning the championship in my life. And it's not easy. Every day is tough. Every day it's a battle. If you only knew what goes on in my head, if you only knew how much that I wanted to just get this up and stop and quit because it's not happening on the time that I think it should happen, I would have gave up. But I have to see this through, just like the fitness journey. You have to see it through. You have to want to be a different person. You have to change your identity. You can't care about Drake and Kendrick beef. You need to worry about you and fast food beef. You need to be beefing with the fast food industry. You need to be consuming yourself in knowledge about how to be on the right path. You should never be watching aimless content for hours on end. If you need to take a break, watch something that you like that doesn't have to do with fitness and trying to level up your life and make more money. I understand. I do that as well, but we got to bring it right on back, man, because like I said, it's a distraction. You should never know about a professional athlete and his life and what he's doing, his stats, his woman, his car, his jewelry. You should know about all that in your life. And a lot of times I'm noticing you don't. You're at work. You're not in shape. Why are you at work not in shape? That's a question that you can only answer. But I have an idea, and guess what? Since it's my channel, I'm gonna tell you, you hitting the vending machine like James Harden throwing money at the strip club. You just throwing money on stupid stuff. Stupid. It's like, it's really no, when I thought about it, it's no need to ever eat candy again when they have all these alternatives out here. They have the candy that has fiber in it, and it has way lower amount of sugar than regular candy. So when I feel like having candy, guess what? I'm gonna go that route because I don't believe in the discipline that I have against the scientists putting very mixing chemicals into all the favorite candies and chips that I like because they're better at this game than me. So I'll just indulge in, you know what I'm saying, the candy that has like 8 grams of sugar, 4 grams of sugar, fiber in it. You know what I'm saying? Like, fit it into the macros. Why do you have to have the junkiest of the junk? Why do you have to know how many? Oh, you want to gamble? You want to gamble on other people's talents. You want to be a consumer in this sport betting arena, bet on other people's talents. That is the craziest thing to me in life. You see it with, I think his name is like Rozier or something like that. They're involved in scamming. You see all these athletes got caught up with this scamming, going to prison. But you wanna bet on them instead of betting on yourself. You need to bet on yourself, dog. I'm not saying that it's easy, but it's worth it. I'm not saying that the diet is easy, but it's worth it. Real talk. You need to be putting the work in. Stop going in the gym and you're just being a gesture, man. You're gesture maxing. You're doing these hard workouts. You're going super hard. You're slamming weights around. You have no gym etiquette. You get a high dopamine hit off of doing an extra hard workout that you cannot sustain. And what you do that, let's say an hour, and the other 23 hours of the day, you're not handling business in the kitchen. You don't want to handle business in the kitchen. That's crazy. That's crazy. You need to handle business in the kitchen, dog. You need to go hard, bruh. That's where it matters, dog. And I always tell y'all, and I'm not going to stop, because over here at Last Laugh Fitness, I believe it's more important for you to eat right, get in the mindset of eating right, and then go sculpt the body. But first, to sculpt the body, you need to drop the body fat. And you know what I'm saying? You need to compare your old self with your new self. Stop comparing yourself with anyone else, because you don't know what these people are doing. These people are using methods, and I'm not going to say if I agree or disagree, but they're using methods that could get them ahead of a person who not using those methods. If he's using Retta and you're not, and you're going through the hunger pains, you can't think that you're gonna just be on his level. He can eat 1,300 calories. He's probably taking tests. So he's not going to go through the same thing that you go through if you try to eat 1,300 calories. Because this is what's going to happen if you try to eat 1,300 calories. You're going to do it 2 days and you're going to binge. You're not going to listen to what I'm saying because you think you got it, and you're going to go indulge in the sweet treats that you want. If you want chips, you need to be eating Quest chips. I'm not saying that that's the best, but hey, it has protein in it and it has a better macros than Doritos. Doritos are, all of it is engineered to way better than what we can go against. But I'm going to go with the Quest. I'm going to go with the candies that have the fiber in it and just not the straight sugar, bro. Because the hardest thing to do is drop the weight, regain the weight, and get back in the mindset of dropping the weight. That's the hardest. Your first time locking in, you might go hard. But imagine locking in, dropping the weight, right? You locked in, you drop the weight, right? You gain it back. You gain the weight back, fam. So you thinking about all that time that it's going to take for you to all the pain that it takes to get lean, bro. To drop the weight, to drop 30 pounds, bro. That takes months depending on where you're starting, bro. You can't do everything that everybody else is doing. You can't view Friday, Saturday, Sunday as Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Every day is Monday. And I said Monday because that's the toughest day. Every day needs to be the toughest day because every day is going to be tough. Every day has its mental challenges. Every day has its adversity. But you can't quit. I tell myself the same thing I can't quit because my family over at Laugh Last Fitness is depending on me to be the example. I can't move like everyone else. I can't even speak to everyone. You speak first. I put in more work. You speak first. Because guess what? Once you get on this journey and you put in that work and you've been doing what I said, you ain't really worried about the gym. You don't use that as a boost. You more focused on what you eating daily so that you're not gaining 10 to 15 pounds in 3 weeks. That, hey, if you miss the gym, but you've been eating right, you barely even gaining fat because you've been around maintenance or under or a little over. You not eating goofy food, so it's harder. You need to lock in, fam. You need to lock in. Ain't none of this guaranteed. You shouldn't know nobody's stats but your own stats. We ain't even gonna talk about jokers who trying to gain weight. Eat in the surplus, eat clean food, lift weights 3 times a week, you there. But we gonna talk for the majority because in America, it's outrageous the things that I see. I have been at my home watching YouTube, just looking at the food. The food is outrageous. All these big portions, all this goofy food is designed to keep you in a loop. And you gonna say you can't afford food. Joker, you better go on Walmart.com and order 10 packs of chicken tenderloins. Don't even worry about the breast. Get the tenderloins. Put them in the air fryer. The tenderloins are already cut. It ain't much fat on it. You can use the fat. You better get the 98-cent green beans. Order 12 of them. You better get the rice, the great value fruit frozen because you know all the fruit goes bad. Stop buying fresh fruit if you're not finna eat it right then. Track your calories. Hold yourself accountable. Remove things that you know you weak on. One day, one weekend will erase progress because if you're 28% body fat, you don't need no cheat meal. You just don't. You're not at that point yet. You're not living like that. You're not like that yet. You will be like that, but you are not like that yet. Man, real talk, bro. I'm only telling y'all this because I'm telling myself this, and it's all love over here at Last Laugh Fitness. And like I said, and like I always say, if this helped you in any type of way, subscribe, like, comment. And if you're not trying to get lean, if you're not trying to get in shape, if you're not trying to be the man, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed that you want to waste your life playing around, drinking beer, drinking alcohol, doing things that are going to hold you back from being the best version of yourself. You need to be the best version of yourself because life is going to present something very treacherous to you, and you need something to hold on to. Think about your why. Have a why. Don't make it superficial. Make it something in the heart, bruh. Something that you can hold on to, because your family, everybody, they looking at you, they depending on you. They want you to be the example, so you need to be the example. And I'm not going to leave it without saying this. If you're not trying to be lean, if you're not trying to be in shape, if you're not trying to make positive change in this world, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. Until next time.